of a second ahead. Still leading, looking very good in this run. So far, a mistake-free performance by Canada's Cary Mullen. Yes, he has done it! Cary Mullen takes the lead by 500ths. He may well have claimed his first World Cup downhill.
I think ski racing is a bit of a metaphor for what's happening in the economy right now, what's happening in business and in our lives. I think there's some new corners we need to negotiate, some new bumps and jumps we don't know what's on the other side of. And I think nowadays it feels a little bit like we're all going 97 miles an hour or 151 kilometers an hour.
What if you're out there, you're lunging forward, you're going for it, but one of your techniques is suboptimal? What happens to our results? Suboptimal results, right? I don't know where you've sort of carved out your niche, where you're the best at. For your customers or for what you do from start to finish, that part, you know you're the best at. That's your niche. For us on our ski team, from the start to the finish, the part we knew we were the best at was the way we sailed through the air. In fact, the media had coined us the princes of air. They said, you guys are the best. We said, all right. Our competitor said, you guys are the best. We said, all right. I'll show you here the technique of my teammate, Eddie Podovinsky, in the air. You can see the nice, compact, aerodynamic position in the air. Here's my other teammate, Brian Stemmel, nice, beautiful, compact, aerodynamic position. Here, I'll show you what, stand up here to just show you the position that many of our competitors held in the air. See if you can pick up the slight nuance and the difference of the position. Literally open flailing compared to nice, compact, aerodynamic. Now, we were in Buffalo one year doing wind tunnel testing. Really cool, these wind tunnels where they test race cars, and we're in there holding our tuck position, which is the position you hold on the flat or the straight part of a downhill. And I said, you know what? Okay, but instead of just working on our weakness this year, let's actually work on our strength too. Let's see if we can even improve on it. And so we started to test for the very first time ever in the wind tunnel our position that we held in the air. And as we started to look at the data with the scientists and cross-reference, we're looking at the data, we realized this position was the slowest position you could do. This was faster than that. I don't know how many wind engineers there are in the room, but logically, this seems superior. But what we'd done here, we'd mastered an inferior technique. Here we were doing the wrong thing perfectly. We said, hold on, there's got to be a better way. So now we started to test in the wind tunnel with the scientists measuring everything. We actually found the fastest position was to have your legs apart and your hands in front. The challenge with that, though, was when we went from here with our hands to here with our hands, our butt dropped lower. When our butt dropped lower, our ski tips came up, and that didn't work. The second fastest technique we found in the wind tunnel was to actually have your legs apart and your hands behind your legs. Now, nobody had ever done that before, but it tested faster. So that summer down in Chile and Argentina, we started to implement it into the training. And I found it surprising that after only 2 days, most of my teammates stopped doing it. And I remember asking them, why aren't you doing that? They said, you know what? It doesn't feel comfortable. And I realized in that moment, you know what? That's true. A lot of times when we're trying to unlearn something and relearn something new, that is uncomfortable. But this tests faster. I've got to practice it until it becomes comfortable. I need to practice it every day to make it become natural, make it become comfortable. Practicing it every day. Then when I went on to Kitzbühel that year to set the world downhill speed record, Austrian television ORF was showing the run over and over in slow motion. They said, watch this. Here comes Cary Mullen off the finish jump. He just set the world downhill speed record of 97 miles an hour. Here he is off the finish jump. He's got his hands behind his legs. What the heck is he doing? Is he doing that on purpose? Is he out of control? Or is he just crazy? It's interesting to me sometimes when people don't know why we're doing something, they think we're crazy, right? But by measuring beyond what had seemed logical at the time, we then saw specifically, that's where we can improve. Once we saw that's where we can improve, that's a prompted innovation. We were then able to come up with a new and a better way. You're the pros at what you do. I'm just encouraged to ask you the question, is there a technique or part of your process that you could measure for even better results for you? I think as top producers, you're the best in the industry. As top producers, one of the challenges we can have is to say what we're doing is brilliant. Let's measure, let's make sure, and let's do more of that. And conversely, where might status quo be holding us back? Where might some of those old industry paradigms be holding us back of what seems logical? Let's have the courage to test try new things, and have the innovation to try something as crazy as putting our hands behind our legs. So I encourage you to look for those ways to keep innovating, to outpace your competition. I just wrote a book recently called How to Win, looking at it, and I came up with 5 winning secrets that we do in sport, and I think these are very conformational to what you're doing here at Advocare as well. The first of those is really to pick our line. It's getting clarity, it's taking vision and then a decision and saying, that's what I'm going for. It's looking at getting that GPS out, going, yes, this is what I'm going for. Making a decision definitively, going for it. Then it takes lunging forward. This is really stepping out of our comfort zones. Rather than playing it safe, not putting the big toe in, but lunging forward completely. Going for it, doing what others maybe think is a little too risky, but taking those chances. Then being resilient. Business, sales, sport, life, we all need resilience. We got to get back up. I actually read a book recently called The Resilience Factor, where they studied top producers in an array of industries and actually found they didn't get knocked down any less. They just got back up faster. Get back in that game faster. And I want to make a qualifier about this. It's not redundant persistence, but adaptable persistence. Tweaking it that slight bit, learning and moving on, letting it go and lunge again. A philosophy you already know here at Advocare, but teamwork wins. Can't do it on our own. I was in an individual sport, yet really the longer I was at it, the more I realized it's a team. And embracing the expertise around us, thriving off of that, sharing best practices. And that's something you're here doing today and also for the last couple of days. Finally, a winning process, really looking for ways to improve and continually hone our skills, getting better. And I know that's something that you're strong at as well, continuous improvement. And I looked at what does that winning process involve in our sport, and I actually mapped it out. And I found that it starts with focus. Really, we focus on what we're doing every single day, looking at that, and then preparing our minds, our bodies, our equipment, getting ready to be able to then executing it. After the execution, taking some time to assess what worked, what didn't, what can we do to get even better. Coming out of each meeting that you might have, what can we do to tweak it a little bit for the next time? Then taking a little time to relax and rejuvenate so that we can recover. I call this a process for success, really a process for improving and honing our skills.